Hi, my name is Erica DiBella. I'm a former English teacher turned librarian and avid reader. I think that reading is a gift that we've been given, and that reading during this turbulent time is an especially sweet blessing. Reading can take us out of our own heads, take us away from the news feed, maybe even from Netflix, show us a different perspective, entertain us, and even give us hope. I have 4 books that I'd like to share with you today that I feel can do just that. The first one is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. To say that Eleanor is socially awkward would be the understatement of all understatements. Eleanor hates people and people hate her, and she is just fine with that, or so she thinks. Because really we know that Eleanor longs for that deep human connection and interaction. That comes to her in the form of Raymond. Raymond is everything that Eleanor is not. Timely, he's unkempt, he is the opposite of her, but that is just what she needs. This is not a story, a romance story. This is rather a story of friendship, the kind of friendship that doesn't shy away from messy life situations, and Eleanor has plenty of those. This book was heartwarming, it was funny in places, it is sad in some spots, but ultimately it has a great message of hope, and I couldn't help but root for Eleanor. Perhaps you're looking for a nonfiction book, something that speaks to the experience that we're going through and offers hope. I think you would do well to pick up Corrie ten Boom's book, The Hiding Place. Corrie ten Boom lived through both world wars, and it was during the Second World War that she and her family courageously decided to help the Jews of her city. They created a hiding place in their home and offered false identification papers for those fleeing the country. Eventually, the family was caught and sent to concentration camps. It was a very bleak story, obviously, but throughout it all, Corrie testifies to the power of God working in her life and the hope that she had because of that. If you're looking for a good children's book, maybe one that you could read as a family or that older kids could read to themselves, I suggest The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate DiCamillo. This is an unusual story in that our protagonist, Edward Tulane, is a toy, but not just any toy. He is a China rabbit. At the beginning of the story, he is vain, selfish, and bored. That is, until one day he is lost and catapulted into a journey he could never have imagined. He meets all kinds of people, and along the way, he learns what love truly is. Yes, this is a story about a toy, and yes, it's a children's book, but I dare anyone of any age to read this story and not be moved. And finally, maybe you're looking for some action adventure. With all of us stuck in our homes, we can still take an adventure and not leave our couch. I suggest reading The River by Peter Heller. In this book, we have 2 best friends, Jack and Wynne. They are rugged outdoorsmen, and they have planned a trip of a lifetime in the Canadian wilderness. They're setting out on whitewater to canoe, and unfortunately the trip is upended when soon into it they spot a forest fire bearing down upon them. Along the way, as they are escaping and getting off the river, one foggy night they overhear a very violent argument between a man and a woman, and then the next day when the man actually catches up with them, he is bloody and bruised and without the woman. They make the decision, Jack and Wynne, to go back and to find this woman and to rescue her if they can. The rest of the story then is their adventure as they are trying to save this woman who comes in and out of consciousness, while they also have this forest fire bearing down upon them. What I also like about this book is the fact that Peter Heller writes with such descriptive energy. He really brings the Canadian wilderness to life in a way that I feel like I'm right there with him. So those were the 4 books I wanted to share with you. I hope there was one amongst them that might interest you. But whatever you do, I hope you stay well and happy reading.